Hello everyone, George Packard, Family Lawn and Landscape, and today we're going to talk about why you should be getting ready to raise your prices. And by that I mean it's like a national epidemic. It's happening all over the country. If you guys haven't seen it yet, you will be seeing it. What I'm talking about, you guys have heard me talk in the past about the whole welfare issue, the welfare problem, the government stepping in and paying people to sit on their ass and do nothing. Well, it's taking its toll, and it's getting worse. I want you guys to pay attention in your cities right now. Drive down your streets. Tell me, how many for hire signs do you see? Now hiring, now hiring. People wanted, people wanted. How many of these do you see in every town? They are everywhere. I remember the day when our economy was so good and things were so good that you had a hard time getting in anywhere to work. Now, if you're a good worker, they're going to bend over backwards and they're going to pay you a lot of money to come in there and work, especially if you're a good worker. Like I said, it's a national epidemic. It's coming because of all the leniency, because of the government making it so easy for everybody to be on welfare. I mean, I have guys come to me and tell me, look, I can make 15 bucks an hour sitting on my ass doing nothing. Just being on welfare. I don't have to do anything. I can hunt and fish all day or go play golf or whatever I want to do. Because if you think about it, just think about this for a second. Because he made me think about it. So thinking to myself, how can that possibly be? Well, look at it this way. Okay, let's say I don't go to work. Okay, now I'm sitting here. All my dental's paid for. My health is 100% paid for. My housing's paid for. I get food stamps. I'll go do a few side jobs for cash money, for drinking money or whatever, but that's about it. Everything's paid for. On the other hand, I could come to work for you and go make $10, $11, $12 an hour, and I lose my health insurance, I lose my dental insurance, I lose my housing payment, I lose my food stamps. So at the end of the day, I lose money and I have to work for you all day, 5 days a week. You see their point? These guys got smart. They got very smart. Change is coming. Look around your towns and you'll see that. The number one complaint of every business owner out there, ask around, is the employees. They're the employees because A, nobody wants to work anymore. They feel entitled to things. I don't want to get into that whole schmeal again, but you know, you do have some guys out there, and again, this isn't for everybody. You know, we still have good workers that work for us, but there's a lot of them that are deadbeats out there that think that they're entitled to come in and get 15 bucks an hour, and they don't even know how to use a weed whip. Well, that's just bullshit. But regardless, change is coming, and you guys better get ready for it. So it's here. It's in our town. It's all the way from here all the way to Florida. So if I'm from one end of the United States to the other and I see it all the way through these towns when I'm driving through, and all the YouTube people that I talk to, the problem is everywhere, and it's going to be coming to your backyard if it isn't there already. So it's interesting to see how this is all going to play out. But what happens, think about this, what happens when the day comes when there is no one to do the lawn care or landscaping? Because no one will do it. So what happens when guys like me can't find workers? I'm not going to continue to do this business if I can't find workers to do it. Why would you, right? Go find something you can do and make money at. So you either have to, if you're going to stay in the game, you're going to have to raise your prices, pay these guys more money to keep them on board, or you better get out of the way because the freight train is coming, and that's called big government. So they want these people right where they can get them, right where they can have control over them. And how much more control do you want than if you control their paycheck, you're taking care of them? Of course they're going to vote for you. Of course they're going to do everything you want them to do because you're their bread and butter, man. You know, that's your sugar daddy up there. So anyway, having to pay more money, that's something that we're all going to have to do. If you're going to stay in this business, you better get used to the idea of paying your people more money. What does that mean to you? If you pay them more money, you have to raise your prices. That's why I said it's going to be interesting to see how this is going to roll out, because the consumer, of course, is going to be upset. You know, let's say, for example, we're charging $25 a lawn, and consumer is used to paying that. Now I got to charge $35 a lawn because I had to raise the salary of my 2 employees. Okay? They may not like that, and they're probably going to shop somewhere else. You're going to run into that. But until enough of us raise our prices all across the board, it should be done. Everybody should raise them so they have nowhere to go for the low baller. But the problem is there's always going to be a low baller, okay? But things tend to even out as they go. This is going to take time. Those of us who are going to stay in this business are going to have to raise our prices, and so is everybody else going to have to do the same thing, because if you don't, your workers are going to come to work for me, because if you're not going to pay them more money, they're not going to work for you. And if you have to pay them more money, that means you got to charge more. So eventually things even out and you're forced into charging more money. So that's just something that's going to happen. Let's see. The help wanted signs, we kind of talked about that. Every decent sized business is going to run into this. If you're a 1 and 2 man operation, you don't have much to worry about. But down the line, guys, get prepared for it, because it's coming. And I don't want to be one of those end guys. I want to be on top of this. Start paying your guys better right away. Start getting in the cream of the crop. Start bringing in the good guys, because eventually you're going to have to do that. I'm going to give you an example of Florida, for example. And this is just picking out just one nationality, and just for the purpose of like down there, like the Mexicans, for example, Spanish people. They are everywhere down there on lawn care crews everywhere. I mean, there's whites and blacks and everything too. But predominantly, there's a lot of Cubans and Mexicans, okay? Now, and they're hard-working people. I've seen these guys work, and they work damn hard, the majority of them. You know, I'm sure there's lazy ones in there too, but I've seen these guys work, and they come through, and they're just a demo crew, you know? They can whip out big commercial places in no time. And these guys won't even come to work for less than $14 an hour. So that shows you what's coming. Up here in Wisconsin, I've got a dairy farmer friend that I brought up about this too. He's got the same issue. He's got to pay $14 an hour, and he's got to provide housing for them, or he can't get them to come. So things are changing, and everybody better get used to it. And it's not my doing it. It's the government stepping in doing this thing. But get ready for the change. George Packard, Family Lawn and Landscape. Thanks for watching.